I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
It's every Red Raiders' favorite podcast. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Welcome back, Double T 97.3. Bullfighter says, why haven't we seen a trade with the Rangers yet? What are they waiting on? I think they're waiting on probably some prices to go down. They're playing a little chicken right now, trying to get exactly who they want. The Pirates I saw today were trying to get, they needed to be blown away, it said.
For Bednar?
Yeah, for the reliever.
Yeah, Bednar.
And then they're also, I think, O'Neill Cruz and some other guys.
Yeah, I think the Cruz and those dudes would be the blown away part. But no. I think my understanding is Bednar is on that list of MLB closers who's available. Bednar's brother was the dude who was so good for Mississippi State when they won the College World Series. Baby Bednar is what we'll call him here for the purposes of you and I's conversation. But yeah, that Bednar was outstanding a couple of years ago, struggled a little bit, so the price may be a little bit lighter for him. But, you know, I don't know exactly his contract status. If he has maybe a year and a half left, the price goes up for him. But if you're the Rangers, you go, hey, if we're trading for him, we're going to have him for, you know, this year and next or something. And then I'm sure if you're like, hey, what's it going to take for Skeens? You know, like just to you know, start the conversation, see what they come back with. Like, well, it starts with 17 of your best prospects and Josh Young, and you know, like the haul for him would be breathtaking because a guy like Skeens has 4 years left in under Pittsburgh's control.
Yeah.
And he still has another year of making $700,000 or whatever, so they're not trading him yet. But again, you might trade him for 10 prospects. What's our guy? The shortstop?
Sebastian Walcott.
Yeah, I started to say Sebastian Telfair, and I knew that's not right because I think he's in the jug, right? Didn't he get thrown in prison?
Did he? He's
a
basketball
could be wrong.
player.
Let
anyways.
me check that. I'm going to just make sure. I don't want to besmirch the Sebastian.
What was his documentary? Oh, yeah, that basketball documentary as a high school player. Sebastian Telfair. He was like the next big thing. They never panned out.
It was like the.
It's like Hoop Dreams.
Yep, it was another version of that.
Have you seen Hoop Dreams 2, Gus?
No.
It's Patrick Beverly in high school.
Really?
It's a fun watch.
Okay.
It's on YouTube. Hoop Dreams 2. Or it was on YouTube at one point. I don't know if it is anymore. Somebody else asked, how does he say it? What makes O'Hearn so appealing? He can't play consistently on a poor team. His numbers don't stick out. Is it just that he's better than what Texas has? That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
But I think also what O'Hearn provides for Texas is just contact. I mean, he would have the best average on the team coming in at 283. He's going on year 3 of 289, 264, 283. Had 100 hits the last 2 seasons. He's at 87 hits, and he's a quarter infield.
Would we consider the Rangers first baseman right now? If you went out and picked up Rowdy Tellez, are you telling me like you don't need a first baseman?
Right. Yeah, you don't want to live with Jake Berger and Rowdy Tellez and Jock Peterson at first.
Right, and I think the Tellez and Berger idea behind that was splits. Like he's pretty good against right-handers, he's pretty good against left, and so the two of them combine to make one good player. But I think O'Hearn has a little more meat on the bones than those other two guys, right?
Yes, but the power numbers aren't there, so it's not like you're going to get in.
He had a berserk stretch early in the year.
Yes.
He was one of the leading hitters in the American League. Now, he'd come back to earth from that, but he had a berserk start to the year. I think one interesting aspect of this, and it may be what's going on here, is the idea that the Rangers might need to move off of some payroll to bring some dudes in, because they're bumping that luxury tax for the third year in a row. And when you do it for 3 years in a row, then your fee goes up from 20% for every dollar you go over the cap, or I'm calling it cap, but the luxury tax number, to 50%. So if you're a chronic offender, it gets more expensive, and that's just dead money. So if you're $12 million over, you get to write I don't know how that works, but you get to write another check for $6 million to, I don't know, La La Land, or maybe you send it to the
slush fund for Manfred's Jets,
to the Pirates. I don't know who gets that,
probably,
which I think is a source of angst. But that, so there could be some deeper conversations rather than I'll give you a couple prospects for your closer. Because, I think the other one was Adolis Garcia's owed like $3 million on, after tomorrow. After tomorrow night. Tomorrow night at 11:59 p.m. or maybe Friday at 12:01 a.m. You get to stroke him another 3 minutes. Not a big number, but they're right at that luxury tax. And so, they may be trying to move some money.
Which is why you saw Dane Dunning leave already, and Luke Jackson as well. It's not big contracts, but
it's a delicate.
You're moving those.
It is.
It's flipping them.
It's a little more delicate than just, hey, we need a closer. I mean, unless you're just saying to heck with it. But the Rangers owner has been fairly public earlier this spring about going, we ain't doing that luxury tax again.
Right.
So if he's down there going, Chris, I don't care what you do. If you ain't going on that luxury, then Chris Young's trying to have to move some guys. Or just take the salary off my hands, and I'll ask less prospects in return.
Yeah.
Or I'll give you less prospect in return, et cetera. That's probably got. He's probably has an accountant in the room right now as he's going through the trades.
And it could be.
I like that AA shortstop you've got.
In that respect, it could be some domino moves.
Yes, absolutely.
So you're trying to get this closer, that first baseman, but to do it, you've got to trade off Adolis, and to trade off Adolis, you need to get an outfielder.
Mm-hmm. Could get a third team involved.
Yeah, it could be a whole.
Yeah, and there's usually a lot of brinksmanship to these things, and that just simply means that these things usually get pushed to the last couple hours, because if me and Rob if I'm talking about a deal with Rob and I'm talking about a deal with Skyler, then we're going to push this up to the last minute, and I'm going to see who blinks.
It's like
because you both want my closer, and then you finally throw in the extra AA shortstop that I'm looking for, and I go, we got ourselves a deal, because you at 4:30 are like, damn, I'm not getting who I'm on. There's a lot of that, and so this time tomorrow you can be antsy.
We'll continue on with Tech Talk after this. It's Double T 97.3.
The podcast that finishes your workday in a very Red Raider way. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Welcome back. Double T 97.3 is Tech Talk. The Astros finish off that game with the Nationals 9-1. And so we flipped it over to a 2012 contest between West Virginia and TCU on the football field. Geno Smith versus Trevon Boykin. We also saw, I think his name is DJ Catalon, something Catalon.
And just to clear up a topic of a conversation from just prior to the break, it was Amanda Renfro, who was an outstanding pitcher here, late 90s, early aughts. In 1999, she threw a perfect game to beat South Carolina, 1-0, in the Red Raiders' first ever NCAA tournament game.
There you go. You had that one.
Yeah.
Was it against Stanford?
It was against.
Is that we said?
It was against the Gamecocks.
Oh.
In Fresno, and the game I was thinking of was another deal. But yeah, and then she also threw a no-hitter against Penn State. So anyway, the name that was escaping me is Amanda Renfro, 2012 inductee, Texas Tech Athletic Hall of Fame. What Nigeri's doing, obviously, even bigger stuff than that. But Amanda Renfro led the nation in strikeouts in 2001. So Amanda Renfro could probably hang, which is saying something, which is remarkable to say. She probably didn't have, well, she most certainly didn't have around her what we have now. But
Right. Potentially this year for sure.
yes.
All right.
Be cool to know if Amanda has made connections with Glasgow and all that, just as a,
I wonder if she was in Oklahoma City.
I know.
Or a lot of
That'd
former
be really
players
cool.
down there.
I want to say she lived in Houston, but I don't know. If you know where Amanda Renfro lives now, because I think she was married and having babies back in 2012, so we'll see. But yeah, if you know where she is now, let us know. But good human being to deal with that weekend when she was inducted. I know that much.
Heading into Texas Tech fall camp, they had their first practice today. Got to see a couple of clips of Baron Morton zipping it around. Threw one to Terrence Carter. I'm excited about that guy. The first step on Romello Height, pretty impressive. Now, we're talking about shorts and jerseys, helmets.
Nobody's got smacked in the mouth yet, right?
We're hitting dummies and pushing around some brother-in-law in a little bit, but nobody's really going tough yet. So
yeah, this is.
We'll see what happens. We're getting
call
some
this
highlights.
the acclimatization period,
Yeah,
where they don't immediately go to pads. And
Right.
all.
Back in
of
my
course,
day.
they've been working. Yeah, they've been working in the heat and doing all that kind of stuff. But still, they usually have a little period of time where they can go do all the work and all that stuff, but not go straight into pads. And
So you also are starting to look at some position battles and what might happen here, what might happen there. I've got 5 here. I want you to tell me if you have any more or different ones as I go through my 5.
all right.
All right, top position battle for me, right tackle.
Yep, I think that one's been publicized.
That's going to be Hunter Zambrano, Jacob Ponton,
Yep.
Will Jados potentially. My second is left guard, because if Jados is not playing left guard, potentially right tackle, then that would be Vinny Scurry at left guard.
Which I think the staff was pretty clear about really liking Scurry as a player and as a lineman last year, but hurt and out for the season in Pullman, if I remember correctly, and which was more than early enough to meet the medical red shirt qualification, and immediately told the staff, hey, this is where I want to be. I want to be back next year. Because I think Coach McGuire had that, if not the Monday after the Monday presser.
It might have been in the post game.
It might have been, but he had that almost immediately. We knew, like, yeah, he'll have surgery, but he wants to be back, wants to give this thing a full run. But the point there is, he was someone that was highly regarded last year, and we saw a good version of him early. But the thought of him and Jados duking it out is probably a good thing for all of us in terms of the depth picture.
Joey also talked yesterday about playing Sheridan Wilson at guard, having Davian Carter at center, and then Cash Cleveland will be out for a minute and come back early season, so he'll work back in there too. Then I go to defense for number 3, and I'm going to go boundary end behind Romello Height. That is right now Terrell Tillman, but Chetta Ofili is a guy that I think is going to assert himself into the rotation this season.
And that is a young Chetta Ofili.
Redshirt freshman.
Yes.
I think it was Ben Golan today putting up a photo of Chetta Ofili at a recruiting camp, and then Chetta Ofili walking to camp today. It's pretty stark.
Grown man.
The difference between 2-year gap there.
That stuff's amazing, and I don't want to derail the topic. I remember Byron Wright was a good player here in the early to mid-'90s. I remember the first time I laid eyes on him, because I had just gotten to the weight room and just gotten back, and it was like, who's this guy? Like, 200 pounds, 6'4", whatever, just kind of skinny. He was going red shirt and all that stuff. And I mean by Thanksgiving. It was grown, bleeping man, and the next year was in the picture. And he played a lot and contributed a lot in his career here. But B. Wright was one of those dudes that became like, and I'm sure it's what we're talking about here with Ofili, like, became Tarzan.
Yeah.
And probably wasn't eating much and just was at home and doing a deal. It gets here and it's like, there's a dining hall, all you can eat, and here's a weight room, and just blew up. And I'm, again, that all I'm saying here is that stuff has happened for a long time. I always like the NBA. Goodness, the Tech basketball was the first ones that I remember making it real super public, like the before and after pictures.
Yes.
Of Culver and those dudes. You're just like, man, if they did that with the football guys, god dang, the football guys would be a stark difference.
Well, they just did the media day roster photo for a couple of guys the other day. Ben Roberts' neck is twice as thick as it used to be. It's just insane. I mean, he's not even like flexing or whatever in those type of photos. In those it's always like, all right, put your shoulders forward and
roll your traps up.
Then you're pushing them back and putting your arms behind yourself. All right, the other two, punt returner. Is it going to be Williams, Alexander, Hudson? Williams is going to be the kick returner. We'll see if he wins the punt returner job. It sounded like Joey wanted him to.
And I think that punt return thing comes down to who's sure-handed. It starts with that every year. Or we can be really excited about how dynamic this guy is, but he fumbled a punt in the last game, so he's going to sit. That's.
Yep.
Kickoffs and punts are a world of difference.
All right, we'll see if Gus has any different ones a little later on in the program. We'll continue on with Tech Talk after this. It's Double T 97.3.
The podcast put together with Red Raider fans in mind. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3. Presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Welcome back. Double T 97.3, it's Tech Talk. Clint Scott out today. I'm Rob Breaux alongside Dr. Mike Gustafson. Pudding behind the glass. Kyler, how you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Yeah. Working hard?
Hardly working.
All right. Since you are hardly working, we'll send it back to you. It's 16-16 here in the studio, which means it's time for play of the day.
Field blast by Leonis Martin. A 3-run bolt out of the blue, and the Rangers have won 2 in a row over the Angels. Tonight they came back from 4 runs down. Last night it was 3 runs down.
On this day, July 30th, in 2013, the Rangers hit their second of what would be 3 consecutive walk-off homers versus the Angels. And who hit the one tomorrow, July 31st on this day? You're going to have to wait to see tomorrow.
Ooh. Does Riker know to play along with this, or are you just going to leave us hanging?
He knows.
Oh, look at this. The producers are
Let's see.
unified.
2013. I'm going to guess Beltray.
I'll take Beltray. Yeah, that's a good place to start.
I'm not going to say yes or no.
I'm going to take Elvis Andrews. All right. Hey, did you see the Rangers news today? Or last night? When was it?
That this is the...
Oh, we're getting another Hall of Fame jacket.
In where? In here?
No, for the Rangers.
Oh.
The Rangers are getting a Hall of Famer.
No, I didn't see it. Who?
Josh Hamilton.
Oh, I did see that. And he's going to be in town. Like, he's coming in.
Yeah.
Like, they got all the things coming. Yes. Oh, my gosh, yes. Absolutely.
Certainly deserves it on the field.
And you know what? I'm hopeful that he's okay in life.
I would assume if they're doing this,
Yes.
his court battles are behind him.
Exactly. And that he personally is okay.
Yeah.
And I don't have any skin in the game, but I mean he battled substance abuse and stuff like in a real kind of way.
Yes. Did you read his book?
Yeah. I don't think I did.
Back in the day? It's a great
I remember
book.
when it came out.
Yeah.
I remember it being very inspirational. I remember lots of podcasts and things about it.
Yeah.
What a run he had. I mean,
Man.
that little stretch in there, obviously part of it two American League pennants, but the home run derby and at Yankee Stadium, some of that stuff, man, he was on top of the world. Goodness.
From,
And
I think,
then
90.
the Angels overpaid for him like they did with Albert. And
Yeah.
woof.
Well, it's just because Arlington's not a baseball town, Gus.
Woof.
That's why he left. I'll never forget Josh Hamilton, greatest player on the Rangers of my lifetime. Well, maybe not lifetime because you had some guys before, but certainly in that modern era.
But put together the greatest years, like that
Yeah.
little stretch right
the MVPs
there.
and
Really good. I mean, Juan Gan was
the
bonkers thing.
He was the best player in baseball right before he left, and then that final back half when he quit tobacco and was drinking too many Red Bulls, and the keratin in his blue eyes was messed with the sun.
Yeah, it got a little
That
got a little wonky. Didn't it?
did it, and it tarnished what I remember Josh Hamilton
Right.
as. I want to remember 4 home run in Baltimore. Josh Hamilton.
World Series.
World Series,
Yes.
the
The
2 World
Derby.
Series appearances.
Yes.
Hambone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was awesome.
And the other thing to think about with him is, I mean, he could run around in center field and do all that.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just, hey, corner, outfielder, which you'd take that production out of anybody. But, like, you're getting that production out of a center fielder. That means you can also have a right and a left fielder that can,
Yeah.
hit home runs and do all the things. And that was Nelson Cruz. I mean, just, man, that offense was fearsome.
Napoli, Moreland,
Yes. Beltray.
Kinsler, Elvis, Michael Young, and Beltray in the 2 seasons there. And then you had
Nice ball club.
David Murphy in the outfield, Nelson Cruz, and Josh Hamilton.
Smashers.
Dave Murphy probably wouldn't play in left field in 2011. Who's the left fielder on
he
that
made
World
the
Series
last
team?
out of the World Series. but,
Oh, then there he was. Left field.
who would have been playing first? Who would have been catching when Napoli was DHing? Because I think they went back and forth.
Yeah, they platooned it first.
I know.
So that was Benji Molina in 2010.
Okay.
Or it might have been Benji Molina in 2011. Because he was with the Giants and then came over and got the ring anyways. It wasn't Robinson Chirinos yet. Was it Jared Saltalamacchia?
Well, I think they had already moved
Taylor
him.
Teagarden? Longhorn?
Welcome
No, he
on,
wouldn't.
yeah.
He wouldn't.
That's a good
I think
question.
Robinson Chirinos was later.
All right, I got it right here.
Who was the other catcher on that 2011 World Series team?
Oh.
That's it yet?
Initials? No, you haven't. Initials? Would you
Yeah,
like
give me the
initials?
initials.
YT.
Oh, Torbleet.
Torrealba. Yeah.
Torrealba. What was it? Jorvit?
Jorvit
Jorvit Torrealba. That's what it was.
113 games. Yeah.
I would not have got that.
I know.
Me and Collier on Friday played Dudes
proud of
Naming
you.
Dudes here on the airwaves. And we just went back and forth with Rangers. Now, we had Brennan in here last Friday. You're going to have to talk to Brennan there, Gus.
Okay.
We had a plan going in. We're trying to name Texas Rangers players, all-time rosters.
Ooh, you know what? I happened to hear that and
For a
enjoyed
full
that
segment.
segment.
It's a great segment. Brennan, we talked before. We say,
he was
Brennan, you're going to name current Rangers.
He was going young.
And then I named a player from the World Series run, and he was like, "Oh, that sounds fun. I'm going to name players from the World Series run." And then he double named Kinsler like 3 guesses in.
And so he had
So
to
he's
go
out.
Yeah.
So it's just me and Collier for
That
the
was
next
good.
10 minutes.
That was good. And that was when I was sweating in the warehouse putting together my rolling ladder.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? That was good. That was sports talk radio, passing time at its peak right there.
That's
By
right.
the way, Indy Chavez get some center field run. Josh Hamilton would go to left.
Chavez,
And
yeah.
I think when they wanted to go defensive, it was Indy in center.
Yes.
Hamilton in left. When they wanted to get offensive, go Hamilton in center and Murphy in left. Murphy had 440 plate appearances, which was actually more than Indy Chavez. But, yeah, I think we got the rest of the picture we nailed down. Michael Young, a lot of DH.
Who's the other guy playing at first? Napoli played at first some, and then you had, obviously, Mitch Moreland played the most. Do you have another guy playing first base?
No.
It's Guzman or something.
Craig Gentry was running around the outfield.
Kitten face.
Bourbon ran around the outfield.
Julio Bourbon. I always thought he was going to be a stud.
Oh, I think we all did.
He never quite connected. Jurickson Profar get any plate appearances that year?
Matt Trainer, no.
We're going to trade Jurickson Profar for David Price. Never mind. For 6 straight off seasons. Never mind. Oh, he's with the Red Sox now. We can trade for him now. Oh, never mind. We're going to keep Jurickson Profar forever. Never let him play.
Well,
and then send him off to the Padres.
That was Cardinals, Oscar Taveras, and Profar were like 1 and 2, and all of baseball as prospects. And all people, man, the teams need each other's guy. And then Profar took forever to develop, and Taveras was killed in a car wreck. Brutal. Really is.
More after this.
It's every Red Raiders' favorite podcast. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3. Presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Welcome back. 100.7 The Score. It is the end of the bench. It's not. It's Tech Talk. Don't read text while you're doing an opener.
That's right. Get focused.
Get focused.
Tighten it up.
Now, Gus, there's 2 minutes to go in this ball game right here. It's 31-24. West Virginia leads. I think this game goes into overtime. If not, you're about to see a rush of points. So we're about to see a 96-yard TCU drive right here. You ready?
All right, sure feels that way.
Oh, there it is. Maybe it's a 96-yard play.
96-yard play.
He's going. Hit the 10.
Quite a defensive stand there by West Virginia. That was
All right, so maybe it doesn't go into overtime, and West Virginia scores right here. We'll get there. You scored too fast, TCU. All right. Yesterday, we got to talk to, on the end of the bench, that's what I was thinking, Skyler, Gill, Howard, and Coy Eakin. Skyler, Gill, Howard has an interesting story. He is a running back, wrestler, wants to play offense kind of kid early on in his career. And then somebody on his high school staff says, no, you're a linebacker.
It's so awesome.
And then he eventually gets to Northern Illinois where they say, no, you're not a linebacker, you're a defensive lineman. So
I mean, he's obviously wired to get big.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, we asked him about it. So here's Skyler Gill Howard on his journey from Upper Iowa to Northern Illinois to Texas Tech.
Okay, so I never wanted to play defense ever. I was a guy who wanted the ball in his hands. Yeah. I grew up playing running back in middle school, but once I got to high school, that kind of changed. Coaches saw me better as kind of like a tight end, like fullback kind of. So I was doing a lot of that, little receiver, little running back in high school. Ultimately decided to focus on linebacker my sophomore year, and I went to my D2 school, Upper Iowa, as a linebacker. When I left there, I wasn't really getting any offers, but NIU allowed me to walk on as a D tackle. So I'm 230. I'm like, man, D tackle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What am I going to do? So I ended up not getting that offer until the window was like about to close and school had already started. So I ended up taking a gap semester 2022 year for the spring. Took a gap semester, was working, training, put on what I was 230. I went to NIU 268. Just ready, you know. So it was a process, you know. What I'm saying I didn't want to put all that away. I told myself in high school I would never play D-line because my coach Holden, he's like, man, you would be an elite D tackle. I'm like, Coach, I'm playing offense, man. I don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to hear what he was talking about, but hey, what he said was true, and now where I am today, I'm just grateful everything happened how it did.
Gill Howard, a two-time state finalist in high school at the 220 weight class for wrestling. He's the second best wrestler in Wisconsin for 2 years straight, and he got beat by the same guy. So that one guy is waiting there for him at the end of 2 state championships. But he said he didn't like wrestling, but basically understood the drive and the grind it took, and he respected that. And so he wrestled his final 3 seasons in high school. He also talked about the 4 new defensive linemen all coming together and gelling and what that's been like.
So, yeah, we all just tie in together. I'd like to steal this from my coach at NIU. He said everybody has to move in one motion. So the way Coach Wood's defensive scheme, like, it's easy for us to go out there and make plays, do what we do. But if you don't, like, it could be a 20-yard run, touchdown, something. So we all have to play together and tie into each other. And I think, like, really after, like, the 3rd practice, the D-line really clicked. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have David Bailey the whole spring, but once he got there, he clicked as well. So we're able to play off each other. We know each other's play styles already. We know how we're going to move around each other. One person do this, I'm going to do that. If Romelo decides to take an inside move, I'm going to help him out and contain because he's going to win, and he's going to force the quarterback to the boundary. So I'm going to be there right with him. Either he gets a sack or I get a sack, but we're all going to play together and find a way to win.
You hear the heavy machinery in the background. They were mowing the turf.
Yeah, they were putting
4 hours.
Putting the
whatever it was.
I think they were spraying. They were fluffing it and doing
raking,
all the.
Yeah, and then the guy was behind him with the blower.
Yeah, it's shooting chips out and all that was going on. But yeah, there's a process with those things, and we just got an unlucky timing on that. Because I think we're saying that they had actually made sure that they weren't going to do any video tests.
Right.
Like they were going to do something that afternoon. Like, hey, we'll do it after 3 o'clock once you guys are off the air. Didn't talk to the facilities guy about the dump truck thing that was driving through there or whatever it was. So.
We also talked to Coy Eakin.
Could you do the other end of the stadium first?
No, he did that. He did the other end.
Oh, did he?
Did this end.
Did he really?
For 4 straight hours. All around there. He was, and then
I just remember getting louder later on, so that must have been
eventually during the bottom line, he was past the end zone into the, behind the goalpost.
So
behind.
You could reach out and high five him.
Yeah, he was tickling Choice's head when he drove by.
Oh, jeez. I remember tuning in, and it was, really loud right in there. They're yelling over it. Oh, well.
Coy Eakin talked about his connection with Baron Morton as heading into year 3 as a guy who's been on the field.
It really came through just every time he wanted to go run routes, I was the first man that was there. So, ever since freshman year. And then we actually built a relationship because we grew up 45 minutes away from each other, and we already knew each other prior to college football. So, it's helped us on the field and off the field. He's one of my good friends. I can go to him about anything.
Since 7th grade, they've known each other. I didn't realize that with Stephenville and Eastland.
Yeah, it's not – they're not neighboring cities, but not far away. And that was interesting to hear that, that they had known each other that long. But I'm sure the best players in an area like that would sort of find each other. But
7-on-7 camp or whatever else.
Yeah, that was all interesting, too, because it was the first time and that I had heard him really tie into some of his rodeo stories with his dad, because we all know his dad is rodeo coach at Tarleton, and they were a very successful program. But that was fun to listen to. That was interesting stuff.
We've got one more quote from Coy Eakin. We'll do it on the way back. It's interesting to hear him talking about moving from outside receiver to inside receiver,
yes,
and what it might be like and how much different it's going to be. All right, more after this. It's Tech Talk on Double T 97.3.
The podcast put together with Red Raider fans in mind. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Welcome back. Double T 97.3. We were going through some Skyler, Gill, Howard, and Coy Eakin audio before the break. Let's jump back into it. Kyler, hit me with the Coy Eakin talking about playing inside and also Mac Leftwich's new offense for him.
Well, the offense that we just got put into with Leftwich is a lot of choice, which is awesome for the slot. I have a lot more room. I can find little holes in the defense with zone and then man-on-man go win my one-on-one. So I feel like I fit in this offense more than I ever have before. So, I'm excited for it. It's I want to say it's a lot different, but the big thing is I have a lot more space. There's a two-way go outside, and you kind of just got to play with your 1 yard of grass. Inside, I can sell a lot more things in the 5 yard span than I can outside and have a lot more freedom.
That sounds like the early days of the Patriots with Wes, like when those choice routes really came into play.
Yeah.
They would spread that thing out.
Travis Kelce slot.
Yes, they would spread that thing out, and man, here's Wes on some even on the slot corners, but especially the linebackers and different things that would get over the slot line. Dude, you got no shot, man. They're just picking guys apart. They'd get their hips turned. He'd duck inside, that little darty action that he had. This will be fun to see Eakin. Eakin may catch 1 million passes this year. I mean, he really might. I'm not saying he's going to catch them for 1 million yards, although in that same interview he talked about 1,000 yards, but he may catch a gob of passes.
1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. That's his goal this year.
Yep.
1,000 yards, 10
could
touchdowns.
happen.
It really could.
Well, one of the hallmarks of this of this offense is spread way out, right? And so then you're either going to spread out with us, or you're going to get hope we're going to get to see if our quarterback can throw to the width of the field if you don't spread out with us. So some of the Art Briles components, right? Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Offensive components.
Oh, let's see. We got the trade deadline coming up. I thought the Texas Rangers were going to go get Emmanuel Clase. He is in a little bit of hot water. And he's suspended with pay currently, placed on the investigations pool or whatever it is. The original Guardians pitcher gets popped, or at least is being investigated for. He's a starter,
right?
But like there was an influx of bets on third inning first pitch ball, or giving up this hit or that hit in this inning or that inning. And they were tracking that stuff, so he gets popped. They get in there digging around, and they're like, well, let's look at the rest of the Guardians pitchers just to make sure. And there's an influx of bets on Emmanuel Clase first pitch ball. And then they put together his last 22, 25 innings, and it's wasted slider in the dirt, wasted slider. First pitch?
Yeah, like
he's not setting him up with a fastball.
No, he's throwing a 58-footer because, I would hope for his sake he's not placing the bets. Maybe he's just got buddies. Hey, I got you.
Yeah.
But then when Clint and I talked about this the other day, like I'm pointing at my phone, but like the computer, all that stuff is so easily tracked. There's an unusual volume on first pitch strike prop bets.
Yeah. And the ball's plus money,
right?
For
this one guy, this one pitcher. And they have computers and AI and all the things.
The algorithms,
and so it triggers those investigations, and so easy to confirm. And that's what I told Clint the other day. It'd be easier to bet with your local sleazeball bookie buddy who keeps everything in a manila folder and a bag full of cash. That's harder for them to track now than that's small potatoes now.
Yeah.
Than and that used to be the game, right?
Yeah, they're not sleazy anymore.
Sorry.
We're past the taboo there, buddy.
This is where you play the degenerate gambler hotkey in there.
We're not taboo
You really
anymore.
are a degenerate gambler. I like that about you.
You were filling in on the show, and I threw that line at you. Anyway.
But in the supercut, there were swings and misses.
Golly.
So
and that's when he started bouncing 59-footers.
Yeah, then you really start seeing them bounce.
It makes you who's on the other side. That's what Brooks and I were laughing about that last night. Makes you wonder who's on the other side of the prop bet going, I don't care where he throws the dang pitch. I'm swinging at it.
Yeah, they're betting first pitch strike, yes.
Right. I mean, the problem with that is he's the closer. It's just coming into a 4-3 game, so we're probably not playing games with that. But when he throws strikes and has obviously been very successful this year, so he's not really throwing games. But some of those first pitches haven't even been competitive.
It's sweet chin music.
He can't
dunking them in the dirt.
He can't be 4 inches off the plate. The dude just reaches out and flicks one foul, and he's like, "Dang it, just hose my buddies."
Yeah,
so that's why they're 58-footers and crap thrown off the backstop and some of that crazy stuff. But it's just so stupid because these guys are toying with, in his case, big money and a really successful career. This isn't some fringy AAA guy trying to just,
It's the best closer in baseball last year.
Yes.
or one of.
Right. He knows Helsley out. We were talking earlier about Helsley as a trade prospect. Clase's name was heavily thrown around this closer trade prospect conversation week and a half ago. Now it's like, well, and then you're also thinking like, it makes you wonder how the investigation like was going. That what if the Guardians call you 2 weeks ago and they've got word of the investigation going, hey Rob, we'll give you our closer for a sack of catfish and a new broom, and you're like, something's fishy here, and then you get him like just in time for the investigation. I'm sure people within the industry were alerted to, hey, he's under investigation.
Yeah,
don't be trading your.
I will say I can't remember the starter's name there.
No, the first guy. Yeah,
it seems like Clase is not as egregious.
Agree.
Now, certainly, because I need to see his first pitches last year, because maybe he's just a guy who's keyed up, and maybe he's always been a guy who doinks one or just sees what the batter's doing or brushes them off, because there was a lot of that in that supercut. And maybe he's working on his slider and wants to throw it more or something. Maybe he's lost a little bit of command because he's not as sharp as last year. I don't know. I watched the supercut of the first guy and thought to myself, yeah, that guy's guilty. Right. I watched the Clase supercut and said, based on the bets, if there's like 1,000 bets or high money on this stuff, it makes a lot of sense. But if I just watched Clase, I wouldn't have thought, yeah, this guy's gambling. Because the other guy was reacting. He'd get a strike call or a ball call and be like, ah!
Oh,
it's like, right? It's the third inning. Like,
yeah, like that was oddly specific.
Or he gives up his fourth hit and he's like over the moon about it. And it's like, dude, chill out. But apparently he was losing cash on the deal.
God, and there's the key, like, mercy. I mean, we have the we have the such a huge example, such a visible example of Pete Rose. You can't. I mean, even guys your age know that story. Whether you know all the details or whatever, whether any of us do, but you still know, man, that guy's like the all-time hits guy, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. Why is that? Well, he gambled on baseball. Shoeless Joe, man, gambled on baseball. Like, you got two pretty prominent examples, and it's just so stupid what we're talking about here. And again, these aren't like Pete Rose was hanging out with sleazy people and doing a lot of sleazy stuff there, and sometimes betting on his team and some of that, which again he paid the fiddler for all that. But just, I mean, that's still going on to this day is just so stupid. Golly.
A couple of transactions here in the last 30 minutes. Colin Snyder has been designated for assignment in Seattle as they pull in Caleb Ferguson from the Pirates. It's Tech Talk on Double T 97.3.
This has been the Tech Talk Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.